Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, welcome back to our channel. The current era may be approaching the end times or may already be in them. All minor indicators of Qiyamah have transpired and we are now on the brink of the emergence of the major signs. When this occurs, events will unfold so rapidly that a believer will scarcely have time to grasp the surrounding developments. Abu Hurairah reported, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "The signs of the hour will emerge in quick succession, one after another, just like the beads of a string." And when we talk about the final hour and its signs, how can we miss the most important event, which is the fight between Isa alayhi salam and the Antichrist, the Dajjal? Most of us are aware of all the prophecies our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam made about this battle, including the fact that Isa alayhi salam would descend upon the white minaret of a mosque in Syria, then proceed to the Al-Aqsa Mosque to meet Imam Mahdi. There, he would encounter Dajjal and his team, who would be vanquished and killed by Isa alayhi salam. But not many of us are aware of what will happen next. What will happen when Yajuj and Majuj are released to the world? Will Dajjal be joined by Yajuj and Majuj, or will they be released after his execution? Why did we find no mention of Imam Mahdi after the execution of Dajjal? And will there be any encounter between Isa alayhi salam and Yajuj Majuj? If yes, then what will be the outcome? In today's video, let us try to ponder upon these questions and answer it in the light of the Quran and Hadith. The execution of Dajjal will be done by none other than Isa alayhi salam, as Allah has gifted the honor of doing this only to Isa alayhi salam alone. No leader of the world, nor even Imam Mahdi, but only Isa alayhi salam alone will end the deceptor as well as all his deception that he had spread all over the world. He will then call a person brimming with youth and strike him with its sword and cut him into two pieces, and make these pieces lie at a distance, which is generally between the archer and his target. He will then call the young man and he will come forward laughing, with his face gleaming out of joy, and it will be at this very time that Allah will send Isa alayhi salam, son of Maryam, who will descend at the wild minaret in the eastern side of Damascus, wearing two garments lightly dyed and placing his hands on the wings of two angels. When he will lower his head, there would fall drops of water from his head, and when he will raise it up, drops like pearls would scatter from it. Every disbeliever will find his smell will die, and his smell will reach as far as he will be able to see. He will then search for Dajjal until he will catch hold of him at the gate of Lud, a village near Jerusalem, and kill him. This is the fate of the liar, Dajjal. He will be eliminated by Isa alayhi salam, and then Isa alayhi salam will greet those present at that time, giving them glad tidings for Jannah for the steadfastness and patience they demonstrated during such difficult times. Following the defeat and demise of Dajjal by Prophet Isa alayhi salam, Yajuj and Majuj would be unleashed from their confinement, having breached the barrier constructed by Dhul Qarnayn millennia ago. Dhul Qarnayn foretold that Yajuj and Majuj would break the wall when it was divinely ordained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be broken. And when that occurs, Yajuj and Majuj will emerge in large numbers, akin to swarms of bees, causing chaos and bloodshed wherever they go. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, "They pleaded, 'O Zulkarnain, surely Gog and Magog are spreading corruption throughout the land. Should we pay you tribute, provided that you build a wall between us and them?' He responded, 'What my Lord has provided for me is far better, but assist me with resources, and I will build a barrier between you and them. Bring me blocks of iron.' Then when he had filled up the gap between the two mountains, he ordered blow. When the iron became red hot, he said, 'Bring me molten copper to pour over it,' and so the enemies could neither scale nor tunnel through it. He declared, 'This is a mercy from my Lord, but when the promise of my Lord comes to pass, he will level it to the ground. And my Lord's promise is ever true. On that day, we will let them surge like waves over one another. Later, the trumpet will be blown, and we will gather all people together. There will be no stopping Yajuj and Majuj once they are free. They will kill everyone they meet and destroy everything in their path, including trees and farms. Because there will be so many of them, the river will run dry. Hadith states the first one will drink from the river of Tiberias of Palestine, and the last one will shout out that the river that was once there is now dry as they go through it. Not only will millions of Yajuj and Majuj roam the planet at that time, but this information also reveals the extent to which they will deplete natural resources. It is surprising that all this will happen when Isa alayhi salam is still alive on Earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell Isa alayhi salam to take refuge with his people in a secure location, specifically Tur Mountain, and Isa alayhi salam will comply with this command. Isa alayhi salam and his followers will, from that secure location, appeal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for protection from the corruption of Yajuj and Majuj. The supplication of Isa alayhi salam will be heard as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send worms to devour these tribes. Once that happens, the air will be thick with the smell of decaying flesh. After that, Isa alayhi salam will once again beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cleanse the land. In response, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will dispatch colossal birds to pick up Yajuj and Majuj's corpses and dispose them off. The earth will be made habitable again for Isa alayhi salam and his supporters once Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends rain to cleanse it from the stench of blood. Then a people whom Allah had protected would come to Jesus, son of Mary, and he would wipe their faces and would inform them of their ranks in paradise. And it would be under such conditions that Allah would reveal to Jesus these words: "I've brought forth from amongst my servants such people against whom none would be able to fight. You take these people safely to Tur," and then Allah would send Gog and Magog and they would swarm down from every slope. The first of them would pass the lake of Tiberias and drink out of it. And when the last of them would pass, he would say, "There was once water there." Jesus and his companions would then be besieged here at Tur, and they would be so much hard-pressed that the head of the ox would be dearer to them than 100 dinars, and Allah's apostle, Jesus, and his companions would supplicate Allah, who would send to them insects, which would attack their necks, and in the morning they would perish like one single person. Allah's apostle Jesus and his companions would then come down to the earth, and they would not find in the earth as much space as a single span, which is not filled with their putrefaction and stench. Allah's apostle Jesus and his companions would then again besiege Allah, who would send birds whose necks would be like those of Bactrian camels, and they would carry them and throw them where God would will. Then Allah would send rain which no house of clay or the tent of camel's hairs would keep out, and it would wash away the earth until it could appear to be a mirror. Therefore, does this imply that Isa alayhi salam will be capable of defeating the most infamous liar and deceiver, the Dajjal, but not Yajuj and Majuj? Does this imply that Zulkarnain was more powerful than Isa alayhi salam, and that is why Zulkarnain was able to exert control over Yajuj and Majuj, while Isa alayhi salam was unable to do so? Does this also imply that Yajuj and Majuj will be even more severe than Dajjal? If this is the case, why were insects or worms able to defeat Yajuj and Majuj but no one else? Did Imam Mahdi die before or after the emergence of Yajuj and Majuj? The response is that all events are predetermined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the fate of Dajjal to be eliminated by Isa alayhi salam and no other prophet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained that Yajuj and Majuj will arise immediately following Dajjal's demise, and they will be eradicated by insects and transported by birds. Allah enabled Zulkarnain to construct a barrier that would confine millions of Yajuj and Majuj for thousands of years. The ability of Zulkarnain to restrain Yajuj and Majuj behind this wall does not render him more powerful than Isa alayhi salam, nor does it imply that Yajuj and Majuj possess greater strength than Dajjal. All of these situations are predetermined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by their occurrence and circumstances. Such inquiries arise in our minds when saying hadiths on the end times, as Satan seeks to complicate our understanding and divert our attention towards unresolvable thoughts. When such inquiries arise in a believer's mind, they should promptly seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the whispers of Satan and maintain assurance that all that is decreed has been ordained by the most knowledgeable and most high, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us all from the trials and tribulations of the end times. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from the whispers of Satan. That's all for today, dear viewers. We hope you found this video informative and engaging. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.